Well, you're wanting to retire and you're wanting to make sure, are you on track with your financial pathway to be able to retire when you want and how you want? Well, I want to show you an example of somebody else that's gone through that exact same exercise, and how do we see if we're on track? So let's look at this example of a couple that's gone through that exact exercise. Let's say that you're 55 years old and you're hoping to retire at 65. Now, the life expectancy that we're going to use is living until you're age 90. And I'm assuming right now that between you and your spouse, $100,000 that's coming in annually, and that you guys are saving $6,000 a month. And that's just going to be going into a tax-deferred account. So a tax-deferred account would be like a 401k, a 403b, typical retirement plan at work. Now, I've got it associated with high risk. Why? Why did we choose high risk? Because typically most people that I see have their investments in their retirement plan totally invested in the stock market. So they get all the ups and all the downs, and they don't really pay attention to it to know if it's tracking and doing the things that they want to. I'm also assuming at 55 years old that you've already saved $500,000 so that we can see, are you on track to be able to retire successfully with that? That $500,000 you've saved in that retirement account through work from all that time that you've done that. Now, we've also got the assumptions that we're going to run with a 6% growth while we're growing the money, while we're accumulating and saving the money. So while we're working for the next 10 years, and then when we retire, that we're going to be a little bit safer with it, that we're going to distribute that with an average growth rate of 5%. Now, unfortunately, inflation, we do have to pay attention to. Inflation, we've got loaded in here at 3%, and tax rate with that we're going to say that we're at a effective tax rate of 12%. Now, I am going to load in for defined benefits that we're assuming that we've got some Social Security income. The average income for this household is $28,800 with a 2% growth with that. So the cost of living adjustment from 67 until age 100. I don't want to really plan that we're going to run past that, but I want to plan that we're lasting at least until age 90, and only 50% of that being taxable income there. So we've got that coming in. We've got the future everything coming in here with that. And our current lifestyle, if we look at this of what are we saving versus what are we earning after our taxes are coming out, we're living on $82,720. So let's take this forward and let's just see, what does this look like? What does it look like when we advance that forward? So this probably looks like water tanks, right? It looks like right now that we've got this money that's saved in here in our investments. We've got the potential income that's flowing in here with that. So before it comes into our income tank, we're going ahead and taking those distributions, the contributions that are coming into our retirement plan. Now, we don't have anything in this other tank over here for safe savings. That would be like checking account and savings account, CDs, annuities, things of that nature that are going to be safe and protected with that. So as the money comes in, it flows down through here, and that we've got some of this that's the net that actually is flowing through. Unfortunately, the government steps in. They want their taxes. So right here, we're always having a leak for some taxes that are coming through with this. And then the rest of that is flowing out as actual living. So we can see that flowing through for living. That's paying for things like the mortgage. That's paying for your lifestyle, everything that you enjoy with that. But let's take this forward and advance it each year. So we can see we're growing that savings over time. So over the next 10 years that we keep growing that bucket up, and that we see that we start when all of a sudden it cuts off. Well, at this point in time, the income is cut off. We now are totally reliant upon our Social Security and the investments that we save. So let's take this forward and see how we go. There we are. We can see it's still continuing with the inflow here of Social Security adjusted for that cost of living adjustment. And then we'll just keep going as we are until the tank runs dry. So we pull out that last bit until at that point in time, year 22, now we only have our cash flow from Social Security. This is exactly why when I work with clients that I always make sure that we have a detailed income plan of where's our income coming from in retirement and how much of it is protected to where we cannot outlive it, because we don't want this scenario to happen for you. So what are some options that we have to be able to fix this, right? It's one thing to show you the problem. It's another to show you how to fix that problem. So the first way that most people say is, I will just be more aggressive. I'm going to take this through, I'll take the risk through, I'll be more aggressive with it and increase my rate of return. So let's calculate how much we actually need. We'd have to step up to a rate of return averaging of 9.65% every single year. Well, the problem that we have with that is that that return just is not in line with what the market typically returns. The stock market, if we look at the S&P 500, with that over the last 20 years, the average return over 20 years is going to be roughly 6.5%. So if the average return is 6.5 when I'm fully invested in the entire market and I'm trying to seek a 9.65% average return, I have to take on a lot more risk, and I have to hope that I never have any of those times that I'm stepping backwards. Because of that, I would say that this scenario probably is not the best solution for you with that. So let's reset that and see if there's another option. The other option, if we're saving $500 a month right now, $6,000 a year, how much more would we need to save to be able to maintain that lifestyle? So let's save some more. Let's calculate how much we need with that. So we'd have to be, instead of saving $600 a month, we need to save $6,000 a month. Well, if you're saving $6,000 a month, that's $77,551 a year, and we were only making $100,000. Plus, we have to have those taxes taken out. You're basically living on beans and rice and beans. Probably, again, not the lifestyle that you're looking for. So let's reset that and look and see. This is a solution that a lot of people say, I'll just work longer. That way, I can retire and enjoy life the way that I want to. So what happens if I work longer? Well, if I work longer, it says I have to wait all the way in through age 75. I have to work all the way to age 75. I thought I wanted to retire at 65. So instead of just working 10 more years to be to 65, in order to have your money last and do what we just did, you'd have to work all the way until 75 if you did it without having anything to protect your assets with that. And then the last option, we spend less. So instead of $9,264 a month, which is the inflation-adjusted amount, let's spend less. How much less do we need to spend? We need to reduce your lifestyle by almost half. 43% that we need to reduce the lifestyle to be able to make the money last. Now, you probably have heard that you're going to retire and you're going to spend less than while you're working. What I find is that honestly is not true. Why is it not true? Because what part of your lifestyle are you going to be giving up in retirement? Now every day is a Saturday. You're getting to enjoy yourself and have fun, relax, enjoy the retired lifestyle, kicking your feet up wherever you want, when you want, and you do the things that you want. If that's the case for you, then I wager to guess you're not going to be giving up any of your lifestyle. You might even be spending more. I remember when I first sat down with Mike and Barry Ann, and with them, one of the things that Mike said is, it was profound. It still resonates with me now, years later. One of the things Mike said was profound. It still resonates with me years later. And Mike said, my ability to spend money in my initial years of retirement is much greater than it ever will be the rest of my life. Because of that ability to spend being so much greater, I want to actually enjoy it and know that I can spend more up front, and then later on there's going to be less that I can spend. So we call this the go-go years. So the kind of the first 5 to 10 years of retirement, you're going out, you're enjoying all the things that you wanted to do, but you didn't have the time to. Then we move into the slow-go years. You're still doing stuff. You're visiting the kids and the grandkids, but not as often. They're coming to you more. And then lastly, we get to the no-go. You're not getting out. You're not doing the things because maybe you're physically unable to, or you're just not wanting to. So there's all of these different ways to be able to figure out. So how do you know if you've got enough saved up? Well, quite simply, you should have the ability to run this through and do the planning with an advisor or some type of financial coach that's going to be able to look at your unique situation and run it forward and say, if you just keep doing what you're doing, where does it put you? Are you on track or not for retirement? So are we ready to retire? Are we doing the things that we need to do? Or are there things that we need to be changing with that? Hey, by the way, I'm Andy Young. I'm the Mountain Money Man. And if you're concerned about your financial future and where you're tracking on your financial pathway towards retirement, be sure to click the link below so that you can actually go take a retirement readiness quiz. This is a quick way that I'm able to share with you how you're doing and if there's anything that we see that maybe you need to improve with your unique situation. Now, this is going to take you about 1.5 minutes to complete, and then I will send you a personalized video so that we can go through that together and you can see if there's anything that you want to change. And if you want to have a further discussion with that, we can. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe down below so that you never miss an episode. And I hope that this video finds you well on your own financial pathway.